framing of the event today is to talk about not just an investment strategy, a bold vision for America, or idealist socialist policies, which are all important. It is to talk about deliberate investment in communities that have been historically overlooked, starting with, and for the purposes of this conversation today, the Black community, and the Black community in Minnesota, the Black community in America.
So today, can we please talk about specifically Black people and reparations?
We can talk about what I just indicated, in my view, is that when you have, and you and I may have a disagreement on this, because it's not just Black, it is Latino. There are areas in America, in poor rural areas, where it's whites.
I can't cast a ballot. What are you willing to do for people like me who are disenfranchised?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Who are silenced?
It's quite enough to spend time in jail, right? You don't have to lose your right to participate in the democracy, but don't be naive and think there's not another purpose here as well. If you have large numbers of African American men and women not being able to vote, somebody benefits from that.
It's common knowledge that today more Black men are in prison than were enslaved in 1850, which is a startling fact. It's something that we all know. We're still suffering from the effects of that. As a Black law student, I'm forced to sit in the classrooms and hear, ideologies that I don't see in practice today. It's hard to sit in a class and hear that the Constitution applies to everyone. I'm looking into the faces of people that don't have those constitutional rights acknowledged. So I want to ask about the criminal justice system as being a system of rehabilitation and not meeting that definition, what you will do to restore that.
The issue of reparations, repaying a grievance that has taken place, and finding creative and direct solutions to fixing historical grievances. And can you say a little bit about your experience, both as a Black and Native person? And let's talk directly about Native-related issues for a moment.
Thank you for coming. We have another generation of Native children whose connections to their families and their tribes is being compromised. For example, in Minnesota, Native American children are 17 times more likely to be placed in foster care than white children. We need more than just jobs for our communities. Jobs alone cannot heal our communities. How will you invest in Natives, creating solutions for ourselves to heal from addiction, homelessness, sex trafficking, individual, generational, and historical trauma in our community?
Anybody who studies the history of our country knows that it has been a very rocky history. It has included the abomination of slavery. It has included horrendous attacks on the Native American community. All right, there's no ifs, buts, and maybes about that. And throughout this country, you are seeing rates of unemployment, alcoholism, drug addiction within the Native American community off of just outrageously high. I think what has to happen, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I have a magical solution, I don't, but here's what has to happen. Simply throwing federal money and federal bureaucrats at the problem probably is not going to work. What is going to work is a relationship between the federal government and the Native American communities by which the federal government provides resources, but the Native communities, Native American communities themselves work out the solutions that are most relevant to their particular needs.
Our main issues are criminal justice, racial justice, economic justice, and civic engagement. We specifically choose these issues because we know those are the issues that are going to change America, change the world. More specifically, the campaign we're working on right now is to restore voting rights to all people incarcerated and released. Can I get a shout out for that? Another campaign we're working on is to create quality public community schools. We believe that our schools should have wraparound services. Our kids should get everything they need out of their classroom. And another big issue is that we believe that everyone should have dignity in the workplace. Everyone should make 15 or more. Can I get a shout out for that?